Welcome back to Season 3 of Expedition Bigfoot. I'm your host Aggie.
In this exciting episode we discover some fascinating discoveries. Bryce calls Ronnie and Mireya to tell about the man-made structures from the LiDAR and then sends them the ghost-like figure picture. It appears to be an upright bipedal position, kinda like a person. Ronnie says that no one should have been out there. Ronnie then says it's proof of Bigfoot, since it's humanoid in shape. Mireya says it's a human twice the size of any human she's ever encountered. Bryce then travels to meet a witness named Rob who says this creature was 15 feet from him and had a loud voice. He states that the creature jumped out in front of him and his dad, squatted, rocked back and forth, and screamed a rib-caged rattling roar. He stated that saw it from the top of his head to the soles of his feet. Bryce estimated it to be 8 to 9 feet tall, then asks him to have a sketch artist to draw an image of what he saw. Bryce goes to the forensic artists to view what Rob saw. Rob discusses the shape of the head, eyes, chest. He describes it like a caveman in appearance. Its eyes were deep set and had no white. The nose had a deep ridge. He describes it as more human-like than primate. The sketch artist then shows him several pics of his sighting. Rob says holy smokes, and it was like it was pulled out of his brain. He was shaking.
Ronnie and Mireya are searching for the reported research bunkers in the area that Bryce told them about, notably evidence of air vents and water ducts. Ronnie tells a story that a military base once reportedly had soldiers guarding a base and were told that hairy beasts were to enter the base and that there would be a no contact or engagement of said such creatures. He then says Bigfoot might be aliens and continues to harp on his cloaking and invisibility theory. Mireya doesn't buy it. She tells him not to allow conspiracy theories to cloud his thinking because if you do, you will start to see evidence to fit your narrative and your judgment will be skewed. We've been saying this for weeks upon weeks now. They then find a vent and pipes Ronnie believes was used to obtain water. They believe are onto something as there are no structures remaining. They then arrive at the reported ghost spot. Mireya finds a concrete slab on the ground and Ronnie thinks it's an entrance. He believes it was a research facility since the opening was sealed off and it was a large facility on top of that. While walking, they find UPC pipe sticking out of the ground. Mireya says what they found was an abandoned house foundation. Why was it there? A trip to the county clerk should tell you. Mireya then calls Bryce to tell him about their findings. Bryce tells them to use an electromagnetic reader and Ronnie says it's an interesting idea. Mireya says she would never think of using one since they are only on ghost shows. Ronnie talks about Bigfoot cloaking again. If it can cloak, it will give off electronic emissions. The EMF goes off and they follow it. They find a huge underground draining pipe in a clearing. But why is it there? I think it's either a mining shaft or liner or a water drain for mining.
They go into the pipe after hearing noises that sounded like, which Mireya believed, was walking. While walking in the structure they hear a water source like my old man whizzing. They then get to the other side and exit the metal structure. They hear a river and see a game trail. They decide to come back in the morning. The next morning they follow a game trail and discover deer bones scattered all over the place and Mireya takes some bones for Bryce to have examined. Ronnie says Bigfoot eat deer and this is full-blown evidence of Bigfoot in the area. He then tells stories of Bigfoot attacking deer and discusses Bryce's experience from a few episodes back where he heard what he believed to be a deer in distress. Mireya says it's not uncommon to find animal bones in the wild, but Ronnie rolls his eyes.
Russell, a few miles away, is headed north searching for an unknown predator that has been following him. He believes it's a Bigfoot based upon his discoveries. Last week, he stated it was a mountain lion, now it's Bigfoot. Russell says his strength is sense of smell, and whatever he's smelling smells like rotting meat. The cameraman and he searches for the source of the smell, but Russell loses the scent and even his superpowers can't get it back. The forest is quiet, so quiet you can't hear a mouse. Russell has been following clues for days of a large animal stalking him ready to pounce on him. He says the animal knows that he is following it. It is just too quiet and the area is ideal for an ambush. Just then, something moved in front of the two. They again can smell that smell. Ooh, that smell, can't you smell that smell? Russell says that people have reported smelling a rotting putrid scent before Bigfoot encounters. The cameraman then says he wants to come back in daylight. Russell asks him if he's crazy. They lose the scent again, but Russell can't stop now. But Russell can't smell shite anymore, so they make camp. Russell says he will keep guard, but hears the noise again. There is something out there, like a jungle, but Russ's thermal doesn't show squat. He says it sounds like footsteps and it sounds too close to camp. The cameraman says it is out there. Russ says he can hear and smell the animal that is stalking the two, but just can't see it. He wants to face it, mano a mano, where he has a fighting chance. The next morning Russell and the cameraman walk along a road. Russell says that he is going to follow whatever it is, and wherever they are at is the perfect ambush spot for them to become a smorgasbord. He then smells that smell again, and it is of rotting flesh. Russell goes on high alert and discovers multiple deer skeletons lying on the road. Russell, a survival specialist, says he's never seen carnage before in his 40 years of hunting, and thinks he was forced to the area so the creature could attack him and add him to its kill zone. Russell wants to treat it like a crime scene and believes that he's walking into something's dinner table. Then Russell realizes that he's at the lake that he was at the year before. Now he's knocking on Bigfoot's door and Bigfoot is going to be found. That will do it for this week. I'm Aggie Flores. I hope to see you next week.
And I'm Emma Holmes. Thank you for watching, and we hope to see you next week.
Thank you for watching. As always, please subscribe to our channel. Please like, comment, subscribe and share. See you next week.